Grand Rising, Grand Thriving. It's time to take the things. Every single day before I get out of bed, I load up on this micronutrition and herbals. Lately, I've been on a herbal cleanse, focusing on removing parasites from the body, from my body. We should be doing this like once or twice a year, just because. Along with those herbals, I have vitamins I take because they're good for us. Let's be more specific. Because the soil that our food is grown in does not actually contain the minerals that we need for our cells to optimally function. And yes, while some store-bought foods can be grown in soils that have been amended, they are amended with synthetic minerals, which do not compute within the body like natural minerals do. It's the whole claim against supplements. Are they synthetic? How are they sourced? What are they derived from? So I have been taking NAD every day for almost a month now, experimenting on that one. I'll talk more on it later when I have more of an experience to share on it. I take a vitamin D, A, K, and E. And then I have been double upping the dose on wormwood, black walnut, and super enzymes, which the super enzymes are derived from papaya and also include ox bile, which I went down a rabbit hole on controversy and my own thought around that, because I was like, ox bile, what the fuck is ox bile? And I'm like, well, it's bile from an ox. And then I'm like, well, remember when I was vegan? How do we think about that still? And I was like, well, that's gross, because then that means that they're collecting ox bile from an ox somehow in the butcher process. And then how is the cow raised? Is this an ethically sourced cow? Is it a cow that is on any kind of a health cultivation regime? Is it an unhealthy cow? And now I'm eating the bile of an unhealthy cow. I went down the rabbit hole. Nevertheless, I ended up deciding to not purchase ox bile. I purchased these super enzymes, started taking them, and then I read in the back and I'm like, fuck, it has ox bile in it. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to go forward. We can always find excuses and reasons as to not go forward with our original thought. So do it, and then if it doesn't feel good, then change it. But don't just not do it because you overthought so much as to why you shouldn't do it. Just fucking do it and try it for a while and see how it goes. I've been doing this double-dosed herbal regimen for under 2 weeks, maybe approaching 2 weeks, for sure a week. And I've been noting a lot of activity in the gut, a lot of GI system progression, which is fascinating for me. I am preparing this, aiding my body in the cleansing stepped process to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the body to eventually take a product I will be talking about more later in detail. It's quite controversial, and as I'm preparing to take it, I'm like, oh my God. And this will be a 2-step process. I'll take that for what I've now decided 3 days. If it's feeling good and I feel like I need to do more, I'll go 3 to 5 days. A lot of research I've studied, people go 7 to 10 days on, 1 week off. They do another round of 7 to 10 days. I did my own personal culture research. I reached out to a bunch of people. I did a shout out being like, hey, who does parasitic cleanses and what's your protocol? A handful of people got back to me, and using medicine similar to this, they're like, they do 3 days or they do a double dose for 3 days, which I'm like, wow, you can double dose this? And they're like, yeah, you can. And you just go like, bah, 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 and just beating it up in there. And I'm like, wow, this is my first time. I'm kind of nervous. So maybe I'll do like 3 to 5 days. But then if you think about the consistency of like doing something for so long and the wear of that, how that can affect your body. So I'm going to go for 3 days, single dose, see how I'm feeling. If I'm like, oh, let's fucking amp it up. Like I did these herbals I did for 3 days and I'm like, let's amp it up. And I double dose and I'm like, there's the sweet spot. So with this medicine, I'm going to go 3 days on, 5 days off, do like a work week off, go again for another weekend, see how it goes. But then I'm going to switch it up to a different kind. I'm going to use this kind because, you know, if you're trying to get rid of something, don't do the same thing twice. Especially if it's like, if you're getting rid of parasites and the mother goes away and it dies, then the like babies left behind have already been exposed to round 1. So switch it up, fuck them up, do a different method, round 2. And more self-study. How's your body feeling? How's it going? Let's do 3 days. Do you need more? Do you need to increase it? Do you need to shorten the days and increase the dose? Like, what's the protocol? I'm going to do this, this is January. This is like a once a year, twice a year thing. You should not need to be doing parasitic cleanses like fucking more than twice a year. And if you do, consider what you're eating, how you're living, where you're living, your water source, your food source, and why the fuck you still consume things at a rate that's increasing your need to do a parasitic cleanse more than once or twice a year. At that point, I'll be phasing off the parasitic herb remedies, and I'll do that intermittently. Like maybe take them like once a month, once a few months. Just, you know, keep cleansing the body. Just like oregano oil. You don't need to take that every day. You can for many reasons, especially like sick season. It's all a different topic. You can take a dose of oregano oil frequently for long periods of time. You also don't need to, you know? It's like if you give a plant nutrient all the fucking time and then you remove the nutrient, it forgets how to sustain itself and fight off things on its own. So don't live on a crutch. Use a crutch if you need it. Use an aid support if you need it. Don't lean on your aid support or your crutch for too long because you'll get fucking weak and it will stop doing its job. So that's my latest and greatest. I drink every day during the week because it fucking feels great. Hot water, sage blossom honey, Meyer lemon. I've been putting in 2 to 3 inches of chopped ginger and a intuitive amount of mint leaves. Take the vitamins. This is my first dose. Before I stand up out of bed, this is my first dose every day. I will sometimes sway on the weekends. Depends. For the most part, I'm still sitting up and I'm taking them all. Just like that. In terms of GI health, if you drink something, water's great. Mineralized water is ideal. But if you're drinking honey lemon water that you made in a tea the night before and you put it here by your bed and you swing your feet off the bed and you drink that before you stand up, woo, you're gonna be having some healthy movements. And I swear with ease, your whole day is gonna be fucking great. Just a suggestion. I also have some mandarins I'll snack on before I get up if I want. And last night's dinner is what was this one? It's unlabeled because it's a BTS version. Watermelon jalapeno, something like that. It's so fucking good. Sorry, can't share the deets with you yet. Once they launch it, I can share the deets with you about it. But if you know, you know. If you're smart, you can figure it out. This is fabulous. It's been a meal supplement for me for a few weeks now. So good. The large jars I can batch out into like 2 or 3 meals. The smaller jars I'll drink in like 1 meal. Oh, for my night regimen, when I sit down with this tea I just drank, I will take zeolite clay. Powerful. Protocol is you take all the herbal enzymes, herbal aids in the rising, get them right, see, I hear you, Grand Rising. You get them into the system. Clean stomach, ready to go. Turn the body on with the water, the honey, the alkalization of the lemon. Turn it on, get these vitamins and minerals in there to work right away. It's the first thing that hits your stomach. And then as you go to rest in the evening, you add your clays, your detoxifiers, your intense medicines, because we're not eating when we're sleeping. Our body is resting. So our body is able to assimilate in these clays into the system, medicines into the system, and then we sleep. Yes, you could take them in and around or before dinner time. Ideally, you eat dinner and then you have a cleanse out period where like your body was able to process dinner. Like when I'm at work, dinner is often like at like 3, 4, 5 o'clock. So then when I'm home, I've worked through some of that meal. I've burned some of it up. My body's had time to digest. I get home. I have another cleansing session. And then when I go to get into bed, washed, moisturized, exfoliated, oiled up, scalp treatment done, face treatment done, gua sha, all the things. Then I have my evening tea and I take my medicinal healing clays, medicinal hard medicines, more intense potent medicines, lay my human to rest, and I incubate underneath my cozy fluffy blankets. Then when I wake up, I'm like, oh wow, I'm here again, okay. Boom, turn on the system with the tea, take the vitamins, the herbal supplements, wake the body back up, shower, moisturize, and go on with my life for the day. There's the rising share. Off to make some collagen tea. I started working with cacao, moringa. I have been using golden milks for a while, but I'm incorporating the 3 because I like golden milk. So I'm like, hey, can I make a cacao moringa golden milk? Yes, we can. So I got some A2 milk, grass-fed. I'm looking to source some raw milk, A2 grass-fed. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm looking for it. Picked up an enormous bag of pistachios, good for gut health. This is a portion of the enormous bag that I got. Eat nuts that are good for you. And always focus on improving your gut health, because your gut health is your brain health. Your brain health is your cognitive function ability. It's how you perceive the world, and in turn, how you communicate to the world. If your gut's fucked up, your brain's fucked up. If your brain's fucked up, how you perceive things is fucked up, and then how you speak about things is fucked up. So address your gut. Align yourself for better thriving ability.